channel or sandwich. What do these mean? Channel means that you have a handle that is made out of a single piece of metal. This is just one piece of metal, and the channel was bored through, milled through, and everything else was cut through. Now, at some point, channel became kind of the standard because it was more higher end. It typically meant that it had better tolerances. You didn't have to worry about different parts falling apart. The Kraken in general has some pretty solid tolerances, and it is a channel balisong. Now, a sandwich balisong, a really common one is the Rep, but here I have a Benchmade 67 clone. Sandwich balisongs have two different slabs and a spacer on the bottom. The spacer, of course, keeps the sandwich from maintaining, it keeps it from collapsing, maintains the fixed distance akin to the pivots. Most really cheap balisongs that you will see in like a mall are knockoffs. They might be sandwich. Frankly, it doesn't even really matter. But sandwich started to come back in favor because sandwich knives tend to have more grip because of how the entire part down here is a groove, and therefore there's more grip opposed to something where your grip is reliant on what milling is on the opposite side, some of which doesn't even have it. Now, there's also a third option, and that's Chanwich. Now, if you've heard Chanwich and you were like me and you didn't know what the heck is Chanwich, Chanwich is actually where you have something that looks like a channel, but it's two separate pieces of metal that come together and form a single piece. Now, this is, some might say, the best of both worlds, but there's not really a right or wrong answer. Chanwich is probably the most expensive because it requires a lot more precision, I suppose. This one doesn't necessarily give you the advantage of a sandwich knife, but what thing it does have is it has adjustable weights on the bottom. This is the Seraph, which is widely regarded to be a very, very good knife. I also have a Zizix, which is a channel knife, and a Cygnus, which is a sandwich knife, and all of them are phenomenal. So there's not really a better or worse. It's preference. It's simply just how the knife is made. But do be aware that sandwich knives can have some issues where if things aren't screwed in at the right tightnesses consistently, there's 3 sets of screws here. Some have fewer, some have more. Just be aware that that is a possible issue where it comes to having knives in the sandwich configuration. And channel knives, you basically just don't really have a lot that you can do if something is wrong. So that's also something to be aware of. And you can't customize it as much if you find that you don't like something as much. Such as the Kraken, some people like to customize it by adding speed channels milled all the way through. But that requires it being taken to a modder to actually physically mill it. Whereas sandwich knives such as the Replicant, which I don't yet have, but I will make an entire video about building your own Replicant. Replicants are basically made up of 4 major parts where you have essentially the sandwich liners, the spacer, the blade, and the scales. Scales being like this up top here. So I'm going to make an entire video about that. But sandwich, channel, Chanwich, they're all good. It just depends on who's making it, how precise everything is made, and what your preferences are. So if you like this video, check out in the comment section my coffee, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.